Htwow, beginning, start 2.
Hello, Htwow listener. Thank you for tuning in to the June 2018 episode. Before we get to the fabulous content that you are no doubt really anxious to listen to, we want to talk to you about a couple of things. First, thank you to Blowout Podcast Network because we are piggybacking off of their massive reach. They have a lot of loyal P1s, and some of you no doubt have discovered our podcast because of all the great podcasts that are on Blowout Podcast Network. So we want to thank them. Also want to tell you, if you want to catch up with this podcast with Htwow, and you want to go back and listen to old episodes, if you want to learn about my cat's bathroom habits, if you want to listen to some classic tracks that Toby has busted out on vinyl, if you want to listen to all the stuff that I brought over the months, go to oldwaver.com. That's OLDWAVER.com. And up at the top, you can see a link that says podcasts, and you can access every single one of our previous episodes right there. There's a SoundCloud link in the page there. There's also links to the iTunes download, so you can get caught up. And also, if you are a wealthy benefactor, or if you have maybe a record label or a record store or a distillery, a brewery, and you want to give us money, this is where we would talk about your brand. Right here at the beginning of the show.
At the top.
Right at the top, we would tell everyone to buy your stuff. So go to oldwaver.com and then send us an email, or hit us up on Twitter at oldwaver, at Toby Pipes. We would love to hear from you regardless, and we hope you enjoy this episode. Goodbye.
You did great, Dave.
Thanks for your support. It was at Lake Louisville, like Little Elm, the city of Little Elm.
Okay, but wasn't it like Sneaky Pate's?
No, they moved on from Snaky Pate's, and
Is Sneaky Pate's still there?
Yeah, it's still there, but this is on the other side of the lake, or I guess the east side of the lake.
Did you tie it boat to boat?
I didn't see any boats.
Were you ever in a boat?
No, I was never in a boat.
Did you see one?
The first song, it was kind of like a trapeze or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was hanging by his, knees, wrapped over the bar, and it came flying in from like stage left to the middle of the stage.
Yeah.
It's hanging upside down like a bat.
God, I love stuff like that.
Hello, Htwow listener. Thank you for being here.
That was a little bit more of a chill start.
It's okay. It'll make sense eventually. This is the June 2018 episode of High Tea with Old Waver. otherwise known as #Htwow on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah.
It's episode 12. We've almost made it a full year. The episode numbers throw you off a little bit because we did have the bonus Depeche Mode Front 242 episode back in the fall of last year. So 11 proper episodes, 12 total episodes. My name is Dave, also known as Old Waver. You can find me on Twitter at Old Waver. He is Toby Pipes. You can find him on Twitter at Toby Pipes. Mm-hmm. And we're here to drink beer and to play songs for each other. And because you happen to be listening, play songs for you. And we hope maybe you'll hear something you haven't heard before or haven't heard in a real long time and have a smile.
Just have a good
Lift
time.
your glass and say, guys, what a great pod.
Wow.
Well worth my time. You know what? I'm going to bookmark this and I'm going to come back to it next month. That's the dream.
Bookmark. So when you said it's almost a year, was August the first one?
Yeah. August of 2017 was episode 1 when we had no idea how huge this would ever be.
Well, it's flown by.
It really has.
I'll tell you that. But we do need another. We really lucked out on Depeche Mode and Front 242 being in the same town in one weekend.
Right.
When does that happen?
Never.
It's a dream come true. And we did it. Mm-hmm. We need another one of those. Not that Zymox wasn't just as good, but we need another big one.
Something to be excited about.
Oh, wait. And we have Nine Inch Nails and Jesus and Mary Chain.
That's true.
That you stood in line for on the last pod to get me tickets.
By the way, it is a beer swap and a song swap, and I always get to go first. I have that distinct privilege. And my beer...
You're the seasoned vet. You're the radio vet.
That's
veteran.
true. If anyone knows what they're doing, it's me.
Exactly.
But I brought you a selection from Four Corners Brewing Company out of Dallas, Texas. They are the brewer with the funny wide mouth pop tops.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah, we have talked about it before.
You might.
It still throws me off, but
yeah.
I enjoy it. But no, I got a seasonal. It's a special brew. It's I don't know how long it'll be in stores, but it's called Queen Bee Grapefruit Saison. I guess El Super Bee is their regular Saison, I think.
I don't know. I don't really, it tastes good, but I don't really taste the grapefruit.
Yeah, it's very subtle. It's at 8.2% alcohol.
What did you just say?
8.2%.
Goodness gracious. That's high up there.
Yeah, okay, so I'm reading on the back of the can.
Okay.
The Queen Bee is a series of flavor additions to El Super Bee Saison. In this version, we've added hand-picked and hand-squeezed Laura's delicious
Rio Red.
Rio Red.
It's dark in here. It's been raining.
It has been raining.
But it feels good. I think the song was perfect for what it looks like outside.
Yeah, so, Saison is not always my first choice, but I do, and I never touch grapefruit. I think it's disgusting, like, to eat. Like, who eats grapefruit for breakfast?
To me, that seemed like a late 70s.
Don Draper would eat.
Yeah, it seemed like
a half of a grapefruit.
Yeah, like that would have been for breakfast on Bewitched.
Right. So, grapefruit, disgusting, but when you put it into a beer, it's rather good. And you know what? I love like Fresca. I love a grapefruit soda.
I love a Fresca. When was the last time you've seen Bewitched?
Probably when I was 11.
You need to revisit that. She's something else.
Is that the show where they had two Darrens?
Yeah, the Darrens are poor Darren. See, I Dream of Jeannie, of course,
Yeah, I saw way more I Dream of Jeannie than Bewitched.
Yeah, well, he, JR on I Dream of Jeannie, he's a good-looking man.
Yes.
It sort of
Major Nelson.
Yeah, Major Nelson sort of made sense that she was into him.
Yeah, because they were both hot.
But Bewitched Darren was terrible.
Both Darrens?
Yeah, and they were had that weaselly look about them. But I'm glad we're talking about this.
We're off to a roaring start.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, let's go ahead and segue into the first tune. As I said, I always go first.
You're playing new tunes, and I'm sticking with my theme.
Yes, so you're going to be telling us an audio story with your selections today. I'm just playing you new crap that I think you might be interested in. I know one. The second song I play, you will be extremely interested in.
Okay.
I'm hoping that you'll be interested in this first one.
But these are all new. You didn't go back. I know.
No, these are all so hot off the presses.
No vinyl on these.
No, all digital.
You went all brand digital, new. All brand new. I love that.
Yes, and so this first one is the first single off of an album that is coming out this fall, or I guess almost fall, late August.
Okay.
The forthcoming album is entitled Marauder, and it is going to be the 6th full-length album by the band Interpol.
Oh, yeah. I heard that they were coming back around.
Yeah, it kind of snuck up on me. I didn't hear that they were working on stuff or that a new release was imminent, but they... I don't know if it's like 100% like live to tape, but they did try to, I was reading about it, they did try to do minimal overdubs. They did record to actual analog tape, and they tried to kind of recapture the magic of Turn on the Bright Lights.
Where are they from?
They're in New York City.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah, so Turn on the Bright Lights was all the way back in 2002. Their last record, El Pintor, which is an anagram for Interpol. Is that the right word, anagram?
I don't know what you mean.
Like you just jumble up the letters and come up with a new word?
Sure.
Yes. So the last record, El Pintor, which came out in 2014...
and that's an anagram.
Yes, it is an anagram. It didn't do super great. Really, I mean, I don't know that any of their albums have really lived up to expectations since their second one, Antics, which I still love.
Yeah, I really liked them years ago. I've completely lost track, so I'm hoping they're back in it. Their live stuff always looks really cool.
Yeah, they still crush it live. As far as in the studio, they're just a 3-piece. Because, Carlos D left a long time ago, 2010. He was the original bass player.
Was he the Magic?
He was kind of the Magic. He was the guy, he would have the swoopy hairdo, and he was the one that wore the holster.
Yes. Okay.
And he always had the crazy walking bass lines, and he was definitely the most interesting guy in the band.
Yeah, he might have been the dude. What was the deal?
It was just creative differences. I think they just got tired of each other.
Okay.
And so now they're a 3-piece, and so Paul Banks, who is the singer and plays rhythm guitar, he has taken over playing bass guitar in the studio. They have a bass player that tours with them. But
do you think they had a battle over the holster?
I think Carlos D probably took his holster with him.
No, but I mean, like, hey,
can you quit
you
wearing
need to
the holster?
Stop with the holster. And he's like, look, it's either me or the holster. No, it's either me and the holster or nothing. And they went,
maybe that is what broke the camel's back, was the holster.
It's either you or me. Wait.
So let's see if they have, in fact, recaptured the magic of Turn on the Bright Lights. This song has grown on me. I think it's a good mid-tempo rocker. So let's see what everybody thinks. This is entitled The Rover, brand new from Interpol. I mean, it sounds like Interpol, right?
Yeah,
So that's a good thing.
I really like that. But honestly, I don't even know if I heard anything off the last record.
You probably didn't.
But I like that. Does that sound like the old record, or it sounds like they're doing older stuff?
I mean, I think they're trying to they're trying to recapture what made them famous in the first place.
Recapture.
And I know you're always interested in who produces stuff when the producer is of note.
Who produced it?
Dave Friedman. You recognize that name?
That sounds really, really familiar. Who is that?
He was the bassist and a founding member of Mercury Rev.
Oh, okay.
And
so they recorded that in New York, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he has a studio in upstate New York. And
did you hear my party top open?
I did. Yes, we are on to beer 2. Still the Queen Bee.
Did you put these in the freezer?
I did. But he is most well known for producing the Flaming Lips, MGMT.
Okay,
He's done stuff with Tame Impala. He's done stuff with a million people. But he's most famous for producing all of the more recent Flaming Lips records.
And he was in Mercury Rev.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I mean, I liked it. I'd go see that just to check that out. It's super smashed and distorted, but that's cool.
Yeah. And I guess they're playing mid-sized venues. The Dallas date was announced at the Bomb Factory.
Did you get us tickets to that too?
I have not yet. I mean, if you would like me to, I will. You know, I got burned again.
Got burned again!
Just the other night, I probably 6 months ago had bought a pair of tickets to go see Bell and Sebastian.
Yeah, I saw you put that up. It was, how did you put it? It was anybody for an extra ticket for Bell and Sebastian or 2.
Yeah,
if you'd rather not go with me, you can.
Yeah, if you want to come with me, you can come for free. If you want to go with someone else, then I will sell them for cheap. But I had no takers, so I went by myself.
Well, you do. It makes you go to a lot of shows because it's a commitment. You bought the ticket, and then were you happy you went?
Yeah, it was a really fun show. I was happy I went, but you know, I've also eaten a few tickets in the last year or so of stuff that, you know, pre-sales and sales are, you know, 6 or 8 months before the show, and you forget about it, and then it's like the week of, and you're like, oh crap, that show's on Tuesday.
What recently have you had to bail on?
Well, like the church. The church played the Kessler back in the fall, and I had a pair of tickets, and I couldn't find anybody to go with me, and I feel
like that was a week that you went to like 5 shows, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Something happened because I remember thinking at the same time, yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, so my girlfriend has reprimanded me about, you know, maybe you shouldn't buy advance tickets to so many shows. Maybe wait until the last minute, and if you decide to go, you can try and buy one.
Concert Davey is good, Davey.
Yeah.
You need to just keep doing that. Don't worry about it.
Well,
you've made many more. You bailed on 2 in the last 3 years, probably? That's not bad.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's cool to see the church, but it's not like...
Well, I had just seen them like the year before or 6 months before, so it wasn't like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. But I am interested in seeing Interpol. They're one of the bands that are part of that huge Hyde Park bill with The Cure that I'm going to go see next month.
Okay.
And so, assuming that goes well, then I guess I'll buy us tickets for the Dallas show.
Are they touring?
If I can count on you.
It's too early to see like who's touring with them. Who played with Bell and Sebastian? Was that a local thing?
No, it was a band called Men We Trust. It was the front person was a Euro chick. I think maybe she was also Scottish. I don't know. They were okay, but I had never heard of them, and
I gotta say,
I don't know anything about them.
I feel like I've fallen off the Bell and Sebastian thing from the very beginning. Like, I loved the first record, and then...
Well, like the first 3 records, like Tiger Milk was If
great.
You're Feeling Sinister, and The Boy with the Arab Strap. That's...
Okay, yeah, that one was good too.
That's what you need to know. Everything after that is hit or miss, kind of okay. But they played a lot of the classics the other night.
They got sort of English hippie a little bit.
Yeah.
People can do stuff like that. It's fine. But you want to hear something that's completely the opposite of English hippie?
Yeah, are we starting into your stuff?
Yeah, let's get into the theme.
Okay.
It's not.
So last month you took us through British Electric Foundation.
Yes, which is the Human League, Heaven 17, all that stuff.
Right. So
this
early
one-
80s English synth pop. They were all connected by the common members
Right, and
that
this
started
one,
the Human League and started Heaven 17.
yeah, and this one is not necessarily as I don't know. What did you think about? Did you know a lot of the British Electric Foundation, Heaven 17? Did you even know any of that connection?
I knew the connection between the Human League and Heaven 17, but I had no clue about British Electric Foundation at all.
Okay, because that's the weird of the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, on this, there's one weird of the theme, but Bauhaus and Love and Rockets, everyone knows.
Yeah.
Anyone who's listening to this, probably, even if you're not a fan, knows who Bauhaus is.
I would hope so.
So I'm going to start off with a Bauhaus song that is one of my faves. Did you hear it earlier when I was playing it?
Yeah, I did when you were setting things up, but it is maybe their best known song outside of Bela Lugosi's Dead.
Yeah, they had all the early kind of more punky stuff like Kick in the Eye and Flat Fields and all that stuff earlier. This is pretty much almost the end of Bauhaus, I think.
Before they reunited and put out that album in the 90s.
Was
or
it
the
was it
aughts.
new stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You don't remember that?
Sort of. The
You
90s.
checked out by then. I think it was actually the aughts. Let me see.
Yeah. But you can, to me, you can tell in this song that they are starting to do other things besides being the punky goth setup.
Oh wow, I was way off. It was 2008
Okay.
that Go Away White came out. Because remember we saw them at Coachella. That was on that tour when Peter Murphy came out hanging upside down like a bat.
Was I at that?
Were you? Or
No,
was that just
I
me and
saw
Manny?
him. I think so. I saw him at the Bronco Bowl,
Okay.
and it was great.
All right.
Um,
Well, screw me.
that wasn't the Arctic Monkey Jesus and Mary Chain year, right?
I guess I'm confusing my Coachellas, which is very easy to do.
He came down from the rafters like a bat.
Yeah, well, like
Did he do a lot of? Whoa.
the first song, it was kind of like a trapeze or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was hanging by his knees, wrapped over the bar, and it came flying in from like stage left to the middle of the stage.
Yeah.
It's hanging upside down like a bat.
God, I love stuff like that. All right, do you want to hear the first? I don't know if I can set it up anymore. It's a Bauhaus song. It's towards the end of their career. During your new wave high school days, were you into? Did Bauhaus come across your?
I had friends who were into him. I was maybe a little scared of him when I was a young waver.
Yeah, Todd and I were really into them.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
We were super into.
I was
Bauhaus.
gonna ask, did you guys ever cover this song? I'm sure you did.
No, not She's
Never?
and Parties. We would do the Bella like in the middle of a song
do a
that
little
would
breakdown?
last too long. We'd start doing the and do the stuff, and it's real easy to play. So we would kind of do 2 seconds of it and then go back into something else. We were really into them, but we weren't really gothy
Yeah.
people. I mean, we would wear like Doc Martens and black jeans and stuff, but we didn't really paint our faces.
You halfway embraced the goth ethos.
We didn't go, but I went to all the shows. I probably saw Peter Murphy more than any other artist ever. For some reason, I've seen him like 8 times, and I have no idea why.
Well, I think you were. We've talked in previous episodes that he opened for people that you saw, right? Or
No, Nine Inch Nails opened for him.
Nine Inch Nails opened for him
At the U of H campus. But I even saw him in Baton Rouge a couple of years ago,
Yeah,
and like 40 people were there, and he was on pills.
was he?
Oh man, it was great. Like people were like, "Oh man, he's what?" I'm like, "This is perfect." He looked just so out of it. It was so good. But he played the whole first half of the set was Peter Murphy stuff, and then he just played Bauhaus songs for the rest of the night.
And did he play this one?
Yeah, I think so. Should I play it?
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it. It's a Bauhaus song called She's in Parties.
She's in parties. It's in the can. She's in parties. It's in the can. Static lines in the rain. Special effects by lunatic and drinks. Freeze frame screenplays, hot headlines. A powder is paint of the ambiance. It's in parties. It's in the can. She's in parties. It's in the can. She's in parties. She's in parties.
So how often do you sit around the house and jam that?
I'll be honest, never. But it is a great tune. I love the ending.
Isn't it great? It's they're one of those bands that kind of got wrapped up in their bit. You know, the whole Dracula goth thing.
Right.
Like, you know how Duran Duran got wrapped up in, oh, they're all the good-looking band, and you forget they were actually really good as far as musicians, that whole thing. Daniel Ash and David, like, the band is really good. So when David J is doing all this weird reggae bass stuff and Daniel Ash is just going berserk on every pedal he has, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
For back then. What year was that again?
She's in Parties was 83.
Yeah, it's for 83, for them being that outright, it's pretty cool. But you can also see how they're sort of you can always see where Peter Murphy's going to go. Peter Murphy had this sort of level that Morrissey did, or even bigger, right? Peter Murphy went on after Bauhaus, and like Morrissey was fine after the Smiths, Peter Murphy was fine after Bauhaus. Like
Right.
they went on, but Love and Rockets went on to a whole other huge thing.
Yeah, they definitely tapped into college radio.
Yeah, they were a huge
They
deal.
surpassed Peter Murphy in a lot of ways.
But I think it's just because they were good. Like they were supposed to be doing stuff. And then they, of course, did a lot of other side projects that we'll get into later on
Yeah, so
in the broadcast.
as I said, it would make sense that Peter Murphy was our intro music, even though maybe it wasn't as happy a sing-along as we ordinarily will start the show with.
But the end is crazy, and we're gonna hit that pretty good here
Yeah, we will.
when it gets there. I just decided not to play Peter Murphy as one of my tunes because not everyone that probably listens to this has been run into or run down with Peter Murphy as much as us, but man, we listen to it a lot. So we're okay.
That Cut You Up record, Deep was
Yeah.
the name of the actual album. I had that cassette in my car for a good 4 years straight.
Yeah. Can you do the back bend arm move?
No, I can't do that.
We'll take a picture later of you attempting the Peter Murphy. Because remember,
cover
he
pick?
would do it on stage.
Yeah.
He would do his wing thing. Remember his wing? Where he looked like he was a dying bird, and he'd flap his wings, and then he would stretch his arms out behind him and then bend down because he's a vampire guy.
He's very theatrical.
Yeah, he's got a David Bowie, big David Bowie influence. And of course, Bauhaus had the big cover of Ziggy Stardust.
Yes, that was maybe one of their more successful singles.
We used to cover that one. We used to be a big fan of the cover of the covers, like you just did. With
Right.
for the
At Summer Bash.
at Summer Bash, you just did the Pet Shop Boys version of the Willie Nelson.
Always on my mind.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, I was nervous because I wasn't well rehearsed. But
Did y'all? Do y'all have a super? What's it like when y'all do the rehearsal? Y'all go to where do you go?
we used to go to, because the band is basically Petty Theft.
Oh, I thought it was like Chris Holt and all those guys.
I mean, it's gone through many iterations, but the most recent iteration of the Time Wasters is mostly, or pretty much 100% Mike Reiner's backing band for
Sure.
Petty Theft.
And that's cool.
And so we used to go to their practice facility, but I think they let which was, in kind of the arts district, or not arts district, garment district.
Oh, over there?
Yeah, yeah.
They have like
the
a little
design
warehouse
district.
or something?
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
But they let that go, and so it was at Bridwell's studio. Do you know?
Yeah, I for some reason I kind of imagined that you were going to end up at Bridwell's.
Yeah. So,
What would the ticket do without him?
right. And so, yeah, it's just you kind of show up staggered, and they roll through everybody's tunes and try and get things done as quick as possible.
So you settle on the song ahead of time.
Yeah, they have like 2 weeks. The band has like 2 weeks to learn all the songs.
And how many is this? I mean, there seems to be a lot more performances than there used to be.
I don't know. The set list is probably 10 or 12 songs long. So they have like 2 weeks to learn the songs, and then everybody comes in and you run through it once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times if it's a little rough.
And then you're like, we got it.
And then you just show up and do it at the thing.
So there's a synth player that covers all the Pet Shop Boys stuff.
Yeah, he programmed the whole thing.
That's awesome.
He programmed
and
all...
he's in Mike's band?
Yeah. He said it was the most fun he's ever had doing the Time Wasters, because he got to program all the drum beats, program all the bass line, and then he played all the keyboard parts live.
So when they do the Tom Petty stuff, he hits all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And
I thought they were more
all
of a
those guys,
70s.
all
kinda-
those guys are great players.
Yeah, no, I figured they would be. That's cool. Okay, so where'd you play?
It was at Lake Louisville, like Little Elm, the city of Little Elm.
Okay, but wasn't it like Sneaky Pate's?
No, they moved on from Snaky Pate's, and
Is
it's
Sneaky
now,
Pate still there?
Yeah, it's still there, but this is on the other side of the lake, or I guess the east side of the lake.
Did you tie it boat to boat?
I didn't see any boats.
Were you ever in a boat?
No, I was never in a boat.
Did you see one?
I mean, maybe way out there on the water.
In the horizon?
Yeah.
But you never tied it boat to boat.
Never went boat to boat. Never went to Party Cove.
Have you ever tied it boat to boat?
You know what? No. I've been to Party Cove though.
Should we explain what boat to boat is? Everyone knows what that is.
Everyone knows what boat to boat is.
When you get close to another boat and you want to party with them, you tie the boats
you tie
together.
the boats together,
And
and
it's
then
boat to
you
boat.
tie another boat together, and pretty soon you have 20 boats tied together, and then it's boat to boat.
Cold beer going down my throat. Cold beer gonna tie it boat to boat. You ever heard that song?
I have about 1 million times.
Oh no, I'm sorry. What are we doing now? We're done with the first Bauhaus song. We're on to your second song. We should. How are you looking on your?
I'm still halfway through beer number 2.
On your Queen Bee?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're at the same spot. So let's get into next jam.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted to talk about Boston, but we can talk about that later.
Let's do that next after this one.
Okay. Because I know there's probably going to be a little bit of conversation about this band as well.
A little bit of conversation.
Just can't help yourself, can you?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so this is a band. I didn't tee you up to tell you what I'm going to play because I wanted to somewhat take you by surprise and excite you. But this is a band that we have actually seen together quite recently. Do you hazard to guess?
Gee. We've seen together quite recently? Is that what you said?
Yes. What have we seen together quite recently?
Crap. I know it's not Zymox. It's got to be...
With Todd.
You're playing a Ghost song?
Yes.
Oh man, he's gonna be so excited.
Did you know that they have a new record out?
Are you? Of course I know. And the only reason why I know is because Todd can't help posting about it all the
Have you
freaking
listened to
time.
it yet?
No, but he's telling me it's awesome.
It is awesome. Okay,
And
so
I like him. I sound frustrated, but it's... What is the deal? It's like they could play with Ministry if they wanted to, and it'd be totally cool.
yeah, so Ghost is a Swedish metal band,
Okay.
and they've been around since well, I guess they formed in 2006, but they didn't actually put out anything meaningful until 2010. And so they just put out a brand new record called Prequel.
I prefer to go with Prequel.
So it's their fourth. It's their fourth full-length record. And if you don't know anything about Ghost, all of the, I guess 5 of the members are what are called nameless ghouls.
Mm-hmm. They're like his minions.
Yes, they all dress in black and they have these crazy masks.
They look like not Mardi Gras masks. You know, with the long nose and
like the anonymous.
Yeah. What are we thinking?
Is it like a French thing?
Masquerade.
Yeah.
Like a the scary Mr. Robot masks.
Anagram.
Jesus. Oh God. But you know what I like about these guys is they're, of course, it's comes across as scary metal, but sort of poppy stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why they open up for Iron Maiden, but
yeah. So that's where we saw them. We saw them at AAC opening up for Iron Maiden.
yeah, and it was great. But the singer has a sense of humor about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like in interviews, he's a funny dude, but no one really knows what he looks like.
Yeah, so his name is Tobias Forge. And so his character that he changes it up every time. So
It's like a reverend, right?
it was Papa Emeritus. So he had a mask and makeup that made him look like a demonic anti-pope. He was like the pope of the Church of Satan, basically.
Sure.
And so he's gone through 3 different incarnations with that character. But the new album, he is a different character. His name is Cardinal Copia.
Good.
And so he's wearing
Do you get it? Do you get it, really?
I do. Instead of like robes that look like what the Pope would wear.
Because of cornucopia.
Yes, I know. He wears cardinal vestments that looks like a cardinal in the Catholic Church.
Cardinal vestments.
Yeah.
It's good that you know all that stuff.
And so the new record prequel.
I think he would say prequel.
It is kind of a concept record. It is set in the time of the bubonic plague.
I had a friend in junior high named Prequel.
Did you? Was he
Yeah.
an exchange student?
He could do like a standing backflip.
That's awesome.
I'm just kidding. I didn't have a friend named Prequel.
So let's listen to this next tune, and we'll, I'm sure, have some lively conversation afterwards. This is Ghost.
Ghost.
From their brand new record. This song is entitled Rats.
Rats.
In times of turmoil, in times like these, believe
Jeez. It's good. They are, I know it's heavy, but it's poppy.
Yeah. And you mentioned, during the little solo bit that it was very Aussie.
Yeah, but also, it reminds me of I wanted to say 70s, but it's probably early 80s, late 70s, early 80s trio that it reminds me of.
Okay, who? Because I'm not
Trio.
Immediately
this is right up your. This is in your wheelhouse.
a trio.
Of this time, they used to have a lot of lights that would line the front of the stage. He would play a double neck guitar sometimes.
Cheap Trick?
No, Triumph.
Oh, Triumph.
Does it remind you a little bit of Triumph?
A
sometimes?
little bit, yeah. To me, it reminds me. It's kind of a mashup of Ozzy, Iron Maiden, and Queensryche.
And a little bit of Boston.
Yeah, I could see that
Because
too.
of that stuff where they like harmonize all the lead stuff. It reminds me of Ozzy meets Boston.
Now, I did not know anything about Ghost before we went and saw them open for Maiden.
We brought Dingu.
Yeah, Dingu was there.
Yeah, I think he ended up liking Ghost a little better too.
Yeah, so I had no idea who they were, and then and I still have not listened to any of their previous records. But when I saw this come out, I downloaded it, and it's really good.
It's pretty good.
Like top to bottom, the whole thing. It's really good.
Well, it's handy that they called it Rats because maybe they're going to be our new Rat.
Maybe.
Maybe for new wave people, Ghost is going to jump the barrier and be the new thing because that was actually pretty good. I
It's
his
funny.
Rats.
Yeah, rats. They
So ridiculous.
they as far as their genres that they're identified as on the wiki, hard rock,
Sure.
heavy metal, doom metal, arena rock, progressive rock, and pop rock.
Yeah, I think that's all right. I don't see them. I know that they're supposed to be doom rock, but you have to admit, even during the Iron Maiden show, remember his little speeches
Yeah,
were all about love and
yeah.
in between of like no matter who you love, or like he started getting into a whole we should accept everyone. Like remember that whole deal?
Yeah.
And you're
It's-
like, I thought that you were like a devil guy.
Yeah, the music and their I guess core beliefs are totally counter to their persona and their image.
Yeah, it's like their whole persona thing is a bit, but they're like, we're pretty good. It's pretty good. We wear masks and we can't even see what we're playing, and they were absolutely perfect.
Yeah, they are technically wonderful, and for a junior high metal kid who every once in a while likes to
From the wrong side of the tracks.
yeah,
Were you
who,
like
who likes to enjoy the guilty pleasure of a hot metal riff every once in a while. They're like the perfect band for that.
the guilty pleasure of a hot metal riff every once in a while?
Every once in a while.
It sounds gross, but I see what you're saying. No, I like it. I'm trying not to like it. I'll tell you that.
I want to read you this quote
From the singer?
from the singer. Yeah, so this is a quote talking about the first song that they wrote as a band, as a song called "Stand By Him." And so this is his quote. As he was messing around writing this song, he says, I said, this is probably the most heavy metal riff that has ever existed. When the chorus came to me, it haunted my dreams. Every time I picked up the guitar, I ended up playing that progression. And when I fit the words in, it seemed to cry out for a satanically oriented lyric.
Sure. What did he say? It's the heaviest what?
The most heavy metal riff that has ever existed.
Yeah. It's so heavy, I couldn't get it off the turntable.
So yes, Ghost. For those of you who maybe have left metal in your rearview mirror, it's a good reason to indulge yourself.
Man, metal has come back in a serious way. Did you see all the posts about the
Slayer show?
Jeez.
Well, and it was
The
a mega.
line
It
for
was
the
a mega
Slayer
bill
thing?
too.
Oh, who's
They had-
on that?
Well, they had like Testament and Lamb of God and like 4 other bands. It was a huge show.
All right, everything you just said to me didn't register. I don't know who Lamb of God is.
Lamb of God, they're big amongst
The metals?
super metals. And Testament was around in the 80s, I guess, 90s.
I feel like Testament would have had a love ballad at some time.
I don't think they ever did a love ballad.
Well, now it's time.
So yes,
But Bomb Factory was one of their smaller
Slayer,
venues, right?
I guess. I don't know. Yeah, supposedly that was their farewell tour. We'll see about that.
Well, here's the weird thing about the Ghost. They always hit. This is you.
Midland?
Yeah, they always hit Midland, Odessa.
Yeah, because I saw that your brother Todd was already making plans as soon as they announced that show to go back out to Midland, because the last time they were in Midland, he went to go see them in Midland.
Because it's small and insane, and the people out there love them so much. It's crazy. So it's like this huge.
Why do they play in the middle of nowhere? Like, when did they
Well,
first...
I'm also wondering, how did they know? Like how do you know?
Yeah, how did they first ever play Midland?
Yeah, and how do you, like, that's a stop off, because now they're just playing all the big places, and then they were like, well, we got to hit Midland. I mean, there are bands that don't even do that well that bypass Midland.
Right?
You know what I mean? You don't hit Midland, Odessa, and Ghost. It's a stop on the U.S. tour, and I think they're pretty big in Mexico.
I would think so.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Should we get back? Okay.
It's time for us to switch beers.
I can say, all right. So we're switching beers. I'll go get that during this next song.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Boston after this song?
After the next one. I know we keep saying that, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll get to it. It's fine.
We'll get to it. Of course, I have plenty of things to ask because I lived there for so long.
Oh yeah, like a whole 6 months or
almost 5.5. But I do want to ask you a bunch of stuff. And you're wearing that sweet Fenway shirt.
Yeah,
so
I'm representing.
That'll be the start of it all. But let me play the next one. Should I set it up or just play it and we talk after?
I guess just reset the fact that it's connected to Bauhaus and Peter Murphy, but it's not Peter Murphy.
If someone's going to say Tones on Tail, you would think, because there was the other band Dolly's Car.
Right.
And Tones on Tail, so Tones on Tail might have been a little bit more popular, especially because of the Moby thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people so much know the name of the band, but I think they will remember this song.
What do you think of the name of the band means?
Tones on Tail? I have no idea.
Oh, that's great. We'll talk about that after. This is a song by the guitar player,
Daniel Ash.
Glenn someone, who was the roadie for Bauhaus, and also...
Their guitar tech?
Yeah, Daniel Ash's roommate, his buddy, like forever.
Okay.
They started Tones on Tail, and then later on with Tones on Tail, they got the drummer from Bauhaus
Nice.
to play things and do stuff. And the song goes just like this.
to jump or get out of control. You put yourself down, you'll never win, get out of that hole. Keep your mind off your head, or you'll never, ever get old. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Go! Your whole world could change if only you just broke through. Through the fears inside your head, 'cause your fears are doing nothing for you. Keep your head up, your mind up, you'll always, always come through. 'Cause living it up is a big deal, it's good for you. Swap your dull grey thoughts of busy minds you can stand up to. Don't put yourself down, you'll never win, so let's all smash through. Through the fear of being real, through the fear of being really you. 'Cause living it up, it's a big kick, it's good for you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Living it up, it's a big kick, it's good for you. Living it up, it's a big kick, it's good for you. Living it up, it's a big kick, it's good for you. Living it up, it's a big kick, it's good for you. Right, let's do the yayas now.
It's good.
Let's do the yo-yos now.
It's good. I haven't heard that in a while, and because I was, like I told you before, I was gonna play Performance because I had that on vinyl.
Right.
That was the only real reason. But of course, you have to play this one. It was the B-side of Lions. They had 2 singles, I think, and then of course this one took off because someone got a hold of it and remixed it. And I haven't heard it in a while, but man, that was in every club, everywhere, all the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you've been in any club, you've heard that song in the 80s and even into the 90s. And
It's such a great riff, and of course David
pop
J.
culture wise, it's been in a bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah, it. Well, you heard. Well,
In Moby's Go, it was sampled.
the first time there's the they solo it out basically when it goes go, and tons of people took that
Right.
and used it on a lot of rave things in the early 90s, right?
Yeah. Okay. So during a rave scene in a 1991 episode of Beverly Hills 90210, they played Go.
Well, no, the Moby Go probably, right?
No, I think that the Tones on Tail Go.
Oh, cool.
It also was in the 1997 film Grosse Point Blank
Okay.
with what's his face, John Cusack, right?
I don't know.
It was in a party scene in the 2003 film Party Monster.
Yeah, classic.
In 2008, Ford used it in a commercial for the Mercury Mariner.
Do you remember that one?
No.
Do you remember that car?
No, but that was that an SUV, the Mariner?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Um,
And then I guess Rick and Morty used it in a trailer for their second season.
well, it's really cool. I
Oh,
can
and
see,
you know what? It was also in Stranger Things.
You're kidding.
No, it says it was during the basketball game. Remember the basketball game
Uh-huh.
when Steve was playing the
Yeah.
hot new kid?
It looks like it's about to break into
It was
High
the
School
episode
Musical, but it doesn't.
It was the episode entitled "The Pollywog," if you remember that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I
If you've
totally
watched
remember.
Stranger Things, then you've heard Tones on Tail and you didn't even know it.
But the Moby song was big. Like, that was one of his first big... Go was a huge early Moby tune, right?
Right.
Um,
It came out in '91. Yeah, and that was his first huge single.
yeah.
It peaked at number 10 in the UK.
But yeah, think of how cool that is. They go from Bauhaus to go into a studio or in a room, wherever they did that. David J's not even with them. So I'm guessing Daniel Ash is doing the
bass.
the crazy bass line. And then I'm thinking that the reason why his roommate, guitar tech, Bauhaus guy, like they went on to do that stuff is because he was really into synthesizers and programming and stuff. And so they started doing a bunch of stuff. I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well, and we will also, I guess, tap into Love and Rockets here in a little bit.
Yeah, but
And
it's
you can
moving
see,
to it.
You can see that, the Bauhaus straitjacket
Right.
was limiting their creative juices, and when they had
Yeah,
the
Peter
opportunity
Murphy
to do
too.
other stuff.
Yeah.
They,
Did you hear my ice?
Yeah.
That's because I've put... Did we mention the beer?
No, we need to.
Okay. I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's okay.
I
No
couldn't
one
help it.
cares what I was going to say.
I love a nice...
Fuck, look at that stove.
What?
Sorry. You have some dumb house show on, and they just had the most badass, 10-burner stove.
This is on the Wealth of Entertainment channel. So it's just all rich people showing us stuff.
Yeah.
Look how rich they are.
Oh my God, they're so rich.
So this is a Karbach. It is a Radler. I don't know what makes beers a Radler. Is that like a summer shanty drink? It's a lemon and ginger Radler by Karbach, which around here, it's everywhere. Karbach
Yeah.
is the thing around here. So, and when I say around here, it's College Station Bryan stuff. But you said before, Karbach is loud and proud in Dallas as well.
Right. So I guess a Radler is generally prequel.
The good thing is that a Radler usually is a little less in alcohol.
Right, because it's half beer, half sparkling lemonade.
Yes. Oh, that's what makes a Radler?
Mm-hmm.
Radler. It's a Radler. Out in the sunshine, getting hot on the pavement.
Yeah, so I don't know if they just when they brew a Radler, if it's just brewed with lemon and they add extra carbonation, or if it really is cut with sparkling lemonade and then they can it. I don't know.
Well, they added lemon and ginger to this. This was brought down,
It's delightful.
of course, and we've mentioned before we shouldn't say his name anymore because it comes too much. But hey, I'm recording a solo record right now. He's down here a lot.
Yeah.
So Taylor has brought down the lemon and ginger because he really thought that Joanne and I would like it.
And he is totally queer for putting his beer on ice, but this actually makes sense. I did not.
You mean me, not Taylor.
Taylor.
Well, he doesn't put his on ice, I don't think either.
The Radler, he doesn't.
Well, he puts regular beer
He
on
puts
ice.
he puts Coors Light on ice. So why
Yeah.
wouldn't he put a Radler on ice?
You know what? He actually might. I don't remember, but I know that I
Now
like...
I'll put a cider on ice, but I requested just keep it in the can. I don't want a glass of ice. But you know what?
I gave you that sweet Yeti thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you spill?
It overflowed with the carbonation.
See, I think they extra carbonate it.
You think so? It's delicious. What do you think?
I do think it's quite refreshing. Like if you
It's a
are
summer
looking,
beer.
If you are looking for a summer beer, a Radler in general, but this ginger lime Karbach would definitely be a great choice.
The other one that he mentions all the time is the Stiegel.
Yeah, they have that on draft at the Monk.
Yeah, it's in the fridge as well, but here's the twist. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
He throws a twist on it, and I don't know if this is a thing that you do, because we did it with this one too, because it has the ginger in it, where the other one has the grapefruit in it.
Uh-huh.
I think the Stiegel.
Right.
But he puts vodka in it.
Yeah, well, that is a twist on the summer beer as well.
Do people, that's a thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I like the Stiegel Radler with the vodka in it. When you put vodka in this one,
Not so good.
I like this one just on its own.
Yeah.
Without the vodka.
Well, after we finish recording, we can do a Stiegel Radler with some vodka.
With the vodka while we're making.
Because I'm already slurring.
Yeah.
So we don't need vodka now.
Well,
but
we went
later.
to lighter beer now. So
But
we'll
later,
be all
for
right.
sure.
We'll rally. While we're making our
Oh, yes. Do you want to talk about that?
Htwow. Well, let's talk about that next.
Okay.
And then let's talk about...
Let's talk about the 5 months that you spent in Boston.
No, let's talk about your 4 days. How many days were you there?
It was... Got there on a Thursday, left on Sunday.
You know, when you mentioned, you sent out a
3
thing
nights.
of, hey, people, tell me what to do in Boston.
Yeah.
The urge to want to send you 50 things, and then I was like, no. You don't need to tell people what to do in Boston.
So you sent me no things.
You're fine. You're going to find it. You're already going to Fenway anyway.
Right.
Which, your shirt is great. I love the Sitco sign.
Yeah. It's
That's
like
a
it's
trait.
like a takeoff on the old logo that was behind the green monster.
To me, the big green building in downtown Dallas,
Yeah.
like there are things that you look for to know where, when I first moved to Dallas, like to know where I was, the green building was a thing. The Sitco sign is a Boston thing like that. You kind of know where you are of where you see the sign.
Uh-huh.
But I love that. I never saw that at the Fenway store. Where did you get that? In the little across
At
the
the pro
street?
shop, yeah, the giant
one?
The giant pro shop across the street.
Yeah, that's where I got my Red Sox.
Yeah,
shirt.
I mean, I couldn't as a I mean, even though they suck, they're
Who
terrible.
does?
The Rangers.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying
I was about to say the Red Sox.
No. Yeah, the Red Sox are having a great year, although they lost 1-0 when I went, of course. But as a Ranger fan, even though they're terrible, I can't buy like Red Sox gear in good conscience.
Okay.
So that's why I just went with the Fenway shirt. Mm-hmm. Because I wanted some memento of being there. And I thought about a hat, but then I was like, I already have a million hats and I don't wear hats that often.
Your
So
hair is
let's
too
just-
glorious to wear a hat.
Let's just go with the t-shirt. You
need
can
to-
always
you
have
need to
more
let
t-shirts.
people see that the flow coming out of the top
I
of
know.
your head.
I'm trying to grow the top out.
It's you and Craig, y'all are gonna have that hair forever.
Yeah. It's getting a little salt and pepper, but it's all right.
It's good. It's still, you have hair, so love
so
it.
do you.
Love it and embrace it. I know, but I'm different.
I'm not like the rest of you. I'm a rock star.
I'm different.
Yeah, so
So Fenway, isn't it the easiest, before we get into other Boston things?
yeah.
The way they set that park up, and I know everyone says this over and over, but it is the way to get in, to get a drink, to go back to your seats. It's set up perfect.
Yeah, I mean it's not a big place,
It's small.
especially the seats. I mean, when there were people on both sides of me, there was zero elbow room. I'm a big fella.
You are a big fella.
And so that it was a little difficult squeezing in, but
Where were you? Wait, you were in right field?
no, I took a video from right field when I got there.
Okay.
Okay, because they opened the stadium like 90 minutes before first pitch. Mm-hmm. So I wandered around outside until they let everybody in, and then when they let everybody in, I wandered around inside, and then I finally made it to my seat a little bit before first
Yeah,
pitch.
because you're like in the streets, and then they need to metal detect you.
Yeah. So I mean, you actually you show your ticket and you go through the security checkpoint out on the street. Like there are a
Right.
couple blocks that are blocked off. And so I got in, wandered around, took a video from the bleachers, and then my seats actually were right on the third base line, like between home plate and third base.
Okay, so you were opposite from where we were. We saw the Astros play the Red Sox, and we were first base, right under where the overhang goes. And we were like probably 3 up from the overhang. It was like the perfect view, like in Looney Tunes when Bugs Bunny can strike out like 3 guys
Right. It was
at
like
once.
it was like
on
that
one pitch.
that
'cause
view.
Yeah, it was it was that view.
1, 2, 3, you're out.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, you're out.
Yes, exactly. There was that, like I wanted everyone to throw their hats when there was a strikeout and stuff. You know how they do on Looney Tunes.
Right.
But it was the Looney Tunes view, and I was like, this is amazing. But it was also so easy. So I'm guessing from the same place you were, you just kind of walk up.
Well, I was maybe, I don't know, 10, 12 rows back. I was pretty close.
Oh, so you weren't under the overhang?
No.
Oh, cool.
I have one of the box seats down
Oh,
low.
wow. Look at you.
I bought them on. Well, I guess we can't say that anymore.
No, they'll be back.
I bought them on SeatGeek. And okay, so here is the complicating factor of the whole thing. I don't know if I've talked to you about this off the record, off the pod, but so went on this trip with the girlfriend, and the purpose of the trip was twofold. 1, to catch a Red Sox game,
Sure.
and 2, to see Depeche Mode at TD Garden.
See, I thought that y'all did the Depeche Mode thing as an extra when you got there.
No, that was the original reason for the trip.
But she was there for work.
No. She was just tagging along with me.
Oh, well, what happened at the game?
That's what I'm going to tell you about.
Oh, that's what we're getting to.
Yeah, so when we went and saw Depeche Mode last fall at what's now Dos
Southern
Equis
S-
Pavilion or whatever
Yeah.
the hell,
Yeah.
I enjoyed that show so much, I told myself, you know what, if they come back to the States on this tour, I'll pick a city and I'm going to go see them again. And so they announced more dates, and I looked at the calendar, I looked at the cities, and I said, you know what? We both have never been to Boston. I mean, I've been there for like a day on like a business trip,
Right.
but I've never actually been in the city and done stuff. So it's like, let's go to Boston. We'll go see Depeche Mode, and then we'll see a Red Sox game while we're there, and we'll see the sights, do the Freedom Trail and all that stuff.
So good.
And so we get there, and the week before, Marissa has been sick, and she had kind of like a respiratory infection, and she went to the doctor, went to like the doc in the box, and got like steroid pills and like a Z-Pack, antibiotics, whatever. And so she took all that the weekend before we were going, and felt like she was getting better, and then took a turn for the worse. And so we're flying up there on Thursday, and she's, trying not to cause a scene on the plane because she's just stifling a cough the entire time, feeling like crap. And we finally get there, and the first night that we're there, we go out, we have some dinner, you kind of see a little bit of the city. And then she's just like, I don't feel good. Let's go back to the hotel, and maybe if I rest up, I'll feel better tomorrow.
Sure. What area did you stay in?
Stayed near the Common, on like the
Really? Okay,
the south
cool.
side of the Common.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so so we get back to the hotel, and she just is feeling worse and worse. And then she's starting to say that it hurts to breathe.
Oh, damn.
And so we're like, okay, well, we'll go to, there was like a dock in the box right across the street from our hotel. Like we'll go there.
Was it
in the
Fraser?
morning. No. And so then I wake up at like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and she hasn't been to sleep at all because she's in so much pain.
Oh, damn.
And I said, you know what? We're not waiting until morning. Let's get dressed. Let's go to the hospital, because there was a hospital like 2 blocks away.
There's a hospital in Boston every 2 feet.
Right. So we go to the hospital, and long story short, she has pneumonia.
Oh, dang.
So they do a chest x-ray. They say, yeah, you have pneumonia. And so, they gave her 2 bags of fluids.
It's a type of AIDS.
They gave her, bag antibiotics. They wrote her a prescription for strong antibiotics. They gave her painkillers. And so we were at the hospital from like 2 in the morning until like 8 in the morning. Then we go back to they wanted to check her in. We're like, no. We're not checking into the hospital. We're here on vacation.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go to the pharmacy. I'll get the medicine. She's going to go lay down and rest in
awesome hotel at the
awesome,
Commons.
yeah, the
We're gonna
awesome
be good.
hotel
Yeah.
where she's comfortable. She can watch TV. She can order room service, whatever. And so we get back to the hotel. We sleep a little bit, and I go and get her medicine. And then I'm scrambling because I'm like, should I sell these tickets? These, because the Red Sox game was that night, Friday night. Mm-hmm. And she obviously was not going to be able to go. And so I was trying to scare up anyone. We have friends that live on the East Coast. Can anyone make it here in time?
Right, to make the game.
And, I listed both of them online, trying to make back at least some of what I paid, and wasn't getting any bites. So then she was like, you know what, you just need to go by yourself. This is part of why you wanted to come. So go by yourself, and you can try and sell the spare ticket. So I tried to sell the spare ticket, kept on lowering the price, and finally sold it for like half of what I paid for it. But at least I got something.
Did you have a line that you were like, well, this is as low as I can go, and not have just for sure an empty seat next to me? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I had gotten to that point. It was maybe 45 minutes before first pitch, and I lowered it to whatever it was, like $75 or $80 or
Okay.
And I was just like, if it doesn't sell, then
anything
it doesn't
under
sell.
that, you have more room.
Yeah, then I don't care.
Yeah, right.
But somebody did buy it. A very heavy-set Hispanic girl who, again, took away my elbow room.
One ticket.
Yeah. She was by herself as I was by myself. We didn't hook up, in case you're wondering.
That was my very next question.
But
Little Fenway Park hook up.
But it was so much fun. I mean, I felt bad. I was texting, trying to make sure that everything was okay back at the hotel room. Mm-hmm. And I was really sad that she wasn't there, but I also was just awestruck.
It is so much fun. We had the pleasure. Well, of course, we took Pace, but we were in Boston because Joanna was doing her thing at Harvard. So an English lady named Jo also was working with her, and she'd never been to a baseball game. So the other ticket was for her. So her first game is to ever see American baseballs at Fenway Park, and they hit like 5 home runs that day. Like the score was like 10-8. And we kept telling her, like, this is never happens. Like you've made the best game. I think the Astros lost, but we're just like, awesome. We're not too crazy about baseball to where we're going to be upset no matter what happens. And the Red Sox, you're in Fenway. So everyone was so excited. It was just awesome. It was one of those great games. And this, this English lady is just like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Like, are they all like I'm like, no.
Yeah. No, like I
really
said, it was
all like this.
It was they were playing the White Sox, who are terrible. And the Red Sox, like I said, are having a great year. And Chris Sale was on the mound, and he went 8 full innings. It had like a 3-hitter going or something like that, but they had given up 1 run and that ended up being the game winner, 1-0. It was a super fast game. I wish it had lasted longer.
Yeah. It's cool to watch it with everyone's so into it and knows it. It's like watching a soccer game when everyone really knows
Yeah.
what's happening.
And I probably didn't take the most optimal route, but I did.
Did you train it?
Huh?
If you're at the Commons, you can train
Yeah.
it right to the...
No, I didn't train it. I walked. So
Oh, okay.
from the Commons, there's like that main boulevard, and
where all
there,
the shops are.
and well, it was like there were brownstones on either side, and then there's like the park in the middle with
Yes.
like the walking path,
Where all the public
the statues,
gardens and stuff
where
like
all the
that. Yeah,
statues
yeah.
are and stuff.
Right.
And so I walked all the way as far as that boulevard went, and then I cut into a neighborhood, and then I kind of got lost, but then I found a guy in Red Sox gear and just followed him and found the stadium. I mean, it was so great. If anyone has ever
So good.
if anyone has ever said, I'd really like to see a game in Fenway, make it happen. So, we can maybe talk a little bit about the Depeche Mode part of the experience later, but let's go ahead and get my last song out of the way.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how you feel about this band. I don't even know how I feel about this band. But they just put out a record last year, and then last month they announced that they were going to put out
New band.
another record,
Is it a new band or just a new record?
a new record.
Okay.
So there were like 4 years, I guess, between records before the one came out in 2017, and then quick turnaround, another one less than a year later. I'm speaking of the band called Gorillaz,
Oh, yeah.
the side project of Blur's Damon Albarn. So, Humans came out in 2017, and coming out, I guess, at the end of June is an album called The Now Now. And whereas most Gorillaz records, and particularly the last one, the Humans record, it's chock full of guest stars and a lot of rappers. This one is pretty much Damon by himself. There's I think there's one track that features Snoop Dogg. It hasn't come out yet.
Huh.
But yeah, there's a record or a song on the record featuring Snoop Dogg. The first single, Humility, featured I guess he's a noted jazz guitarist, George Benson.
Yes.
But I'm not going to play either of those. Like I said, it's coming out at the end of the month, but they've released 4 tracks. So if you pre-order it on iTunes or whatever, you get 4 songs right away. But the song that I'm going to play is maybe a calculated risk on my part, because it's, on the face of it, maybe the least accessible of the 4 songs that have been released so far, because it really doesn't have much in the way of lyrics. It's more of an instrumental.
Cool.
But it's super catchy, and I imagine that a lot of this album was stuff that Damon was recording on his laptop in the hotel room or on the tour bus.
Right.
And so that's what this sounds like to me, but it sounds super cool. It's called Lake Zurich, and it's from the upcoming Gorillaz record, The Now Now, on Htwow.
That's awesome. I love stuff like that. And I love that you played an instrumental.
Yeah, I mean, and I can play some of the other stuff for you later. It's not that the other stuff is bad, but just that one just really made me happy.
Man, he's at a point in his life he can do things like that.
I know. Well,
And that's great.
He's doing another Good, the Bad, and the Queen, even though no one asked for it.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah,
Golly, that at Coachella was the biggest letdown.
I know. Him and his top hat.
I know the bass player from The Clash will sometimes play with the Gorillaz stuff, but he's really in...
He's an actual member of the Good, the Bad, and the Queen.
I mean,
But, you
I
know-
don't even know if it's actually any good or not, but just that stage. Remember, Shadow was on the stage that night. That same one. That stage has bad luck.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, the one in the far left corner at Coachella is not the one.
Yeah, it's like the third stage.
Do
Like
you think
it-
like that? There's see, to me, I thought it was the second biggest stage.
Well, I guess there's the two tents. I
Yeah.
would consider the main tent bigger than that outdoor stage.
Oh, okay. I was seeing it as big outdoor, smaller outdoor, and then the tents.
Yeah,
I need to stop hitting this mic. I can't help it.
I think the main tent, the big tent where we saw Faithless and Prodigy, that's bigger than the second stage, the outdoor stage. Yeah, that second outdoor stage, pretty much anything I've ever seen at that stage has not been that great.
Yeah, we need to know that for when we book our Coachella DJ gig.
Right. Boy, Coachella has totally jumped the shark. We'll never go back.
Yeah,
It's just too millennial now.
I mean, it's probably our fault.
Yeah, it is our fault for
But-
getting old. It's all internet rappers and millennial
Yeah.
whoop bands.
I blame you.
It is my fault. But I think the interesting thing about Gorillaz is that,
The band?
yes, is that Damon Albarn figured out a way to make himself relevant to a whole different audience.
And I think he's into that stuff. So he just wanted to do a thing that, I don't know. Remember, it started off so comic booky.
Right, and that's still, I guess, an aspect of it, the visuals, the virtual band.
Yeah, the
But it-
Japanimation.
Yeah, but it's taken a total back seat. It was like 50% of the gimmick in the beginning. It's maybe like 10% of the gimmick now.
Well, I want to say, I think that he might have started the whole thing thinking that it was going to develop into, he was going to do this show with all this cartoony stuff going on, but people would just tune into it. Like, they wouldn't necessarily tour it, but they would put on these shows and you would just watch it from everywhere. You know, but I don't think that ever went down the way he thought.
I mean, I have a very hit or miss relationship with Gorillaz. There's, you know, a few songs off of, Plastic Beach that are okay.
Is that the first record?
Well, okay, so the
I
first,
love the first record.
The first record with Clint Eastwood was self-titled.
Right.
And then the second one was Demon Days.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And then the third one was Plastic Beach.
I don't think I know that one.
I guess Plastic Beach, the single from that one was Stylo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember that one.
I don't know.
That one had Mos Def. But yeah, I mean, since then I've kind of just not followed them whatsoever. But I guess when I heard about this new one, that it was more just Damon and not a cavalcade of stars, I was more interested.
Damon. Do you get that reference, what I just did?
No. From Team America?
Yeah. That sounded great.
That
and
one
you're
was
right,
good.
it does sound like he just kind of
He's just messing around on
made
the
up a
bus.
thing and was like, this is good.
Yeah. All right, before we get to your Love and Rockets tune, do you want to ask me anything about the Depeche Mode show at TD Garden?
Yeah, but it's not. We don't have to go too far into it because I only have a few things. Which one did you like better?
Well, okay, so I definitely liked the TD Garden show better. Well, it's such a toss-up because
That hurts my feelings a little.
that's the thing is that the Dallas show was such a group effort. There was a whole bunch of us that went, but then we were all separated during the show, and the show, there was anxiety during the show of trying to link up and trying to get to somebody else's seats, and oh no, we're here, and no, we can't find you. And so there was drama that took away from the experience.
Everyone just needed to follow me,
It's true.
and it would have been fine.
But we had really nice floor seats for the Boston show.
Was it indoor?
It was TD Garden, where the Celtics and the Bruins play.
Oh, I thought, okay. So they don't call that. Never mind. They don't call that the Boston Garden.
No, it's TD Garden now
Okay.
for TD Bank.
Oh, TD Bank.
Yeah, and I mean it's very akin to the American Airlines Center. It's a modern arena.
Yeah, no, I totally. I always think of, even though the outdoor shed shows with, say, The Cure or Depeche Mode are always really good, the indoor always better.
Yeah, so
It's just contained.
I was looking at the set lists side by side between the Dallas show and the Boston show, and it's about 75% consistent. Certainly, like the last 4 songs of the main set,
Sure.
Everything Counts, Stripped, Enjoy the Silence, and Never Let Me Down Again. That's how they closed the show both times. The one wild card that we got in Boston that was great during the encore was A Question of Time.
That's crazy.
I did not expect them to play that. And then
It's a creepy number. I love that number, but boy,
I mean, they don't often roll out stuff from Black Celebration, so when they do, got to be excited for it.
top 3 favorite tour. Were you on the Black Celebration tour?
No, it was before my time.
So good.
And whereas in Dallas for the Martin number, you got A Question of Lust. In Boston, we got The Things You Said instead.
Heard it from my friends about the things you said.
Boom, boom, boom.
Heard it from my friends about the. Oh,
Yeah.
I got a cat.
So it was super good. Really enjoyed it. Really glad we made it. My girlfriend rallied in time to go. I mean, we
They
didn't.
know me better than that. They know me better than that. Oh, here's the good part. They know my weakness. You're supposed to do the other part. Never tried to hide them. He blew it.
I'm sorry.
You're supposed to do. Let's try it again. They know my weakness.
Never tried to hide them.
See, that was perfect. We really did it.
Thank you.
Way to go, Dave. So she rallied, and
She
you made
rallied,
it to the
and
show.
yeah, we went to the show, and then afterwards we went to a bar nearby, and ran into a guy who claimed he was from Dallas and kept on wanting to
Make out with you.
offer us drinks from his bottle of champagne, which I felt like he had probably roofied, so we refused his advances.
He was just cruising around with a bottle of champagne.
Oh, he was sitting at the bar and he had a bottle of champagne.
He was just by himself.
No, he had a friend with him, and his friend was apologizing for him, but he was cruising the entire bar, talking to everyone, being really obnoxious.
He bought a bottle of champagne.
Yeah,
What kind?
I don't know.
If you don't know, it wasn't good.
But they had amazing duck wings at whatever bar that was.
You
And-
got
and
duck wings at a bar?
Sure did. They were good.
Okay.
We had lovely oysters while we were in Boston.
Gotta do that.
I mean,
Did you ever go down to the south side? Did you ever go up to Cambridge?
no, we didn't make it because we weren't there for that long, and B, because my girlfriend was down for the count for a good part of the trip. You know, I tried to see as much as I could see, and we tried to see as much as we could see together, but she wasn't necessarily game for walking 10 miles or anything like that.
Well, y'all did the Commons, and you obviously did the walk.
Yeah, we did about 2/3 of the Freedom Trail.
Did you make it to Revere's house?
Yes, we did do the Revere's house tour.
You just didn't go across to
Yeah,
Bunker Hill.
we didn't go across. Well, we went across to the north side, and we had some Italian food.
Yeah, but then you go across the bridge.
Yeah,
to
we
Bunker
didn't
Hill.
go to Bunker Hill.
Okay, well, where you had the Italian food, that's the spot. It's so cool around there.
Boston. Here's the thing: is Boston is by far the most historic city that I've ever been to in the U.S.
It's awesome. It's so cool to walk.
I mean,
around.
there's certainly loads of history in New York,
Philadelphia.
in Philadelphia, in D.C., but there's just something about Boston
It's crazy.
that not that Boston hasn't progressed as much as those other cities, but maybe they have more respect for their history than those other cities.
Yeah, especially when you start going on the walk and you do the thing and realize every building that you're walking past.
Right, like you're standing
some insane-
here on the corner, and right there from that balcony is where they first read the Declaration of Independence.
It's crazy.
And then right over there is where the Boston Massacre occurred, right across the street.
It's awesome, and it's all right there. I mean, that's the cool thing is they put those bricks out where you just you got to walk the line. And it's cool the way they've laid it out. It doesn't take all day, but you're right. Where you stopped is where we stopped too, because we'd already been to the Bunker Hill side. So we were like, well, we don't need to do that again. We've already been over there, which is awesome too. So you didn't go over the river.
No.
It's really cool over there. There's
I
still
know.
an old Navy.
There was so much left undone. I mean, we definitely need to go back.
Yeah, there's still an old Navy shipyard there that is still in use.
Yeah,
and
the
whole
USS
thing's
Constitution. We didn't do that.
Awesome. It's really cool. But the whole Cambridge side, man, we need to do that.
Yeah.
I'll do that with you.
Anytime you want to go, you tell me, because I love that city. As much as I love Manhattan, and anytime I have an excuse to go to New York City, I will. I might love Boston more, just because it's like a small big city.
Yeah,
It's so self-contained.
My favorite thing about Boston, I've driven around in New York too. You know, I've done the drive around New York City. You just can't find places to park. Boston has it set up. It's still a major city, but if you want to park, there are places to park. And we're at the Boston Commons, all underneath it, massive parking space.
Yeah.
For what, 4 levels underneath there?
We didn't explore that, but yeah.
And it's only like $6. You park under there and you can stay there all day. It's awesome. It's really cool how they have it set up.
And everyone was so super cool, super nice.
Yeah, it's really
It's a great place.
Giant park. The Commons thing is
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably what, like a half or a third of Central Park, but it's still
if
huge.
Even a third. It might even be a fourth.
Yeah, Boston just and granted I only saw a small slice of it, but it had an intimacy that those other cities don't.
Yeah, but it's also why I didn't send you anything. So I'm like, you don't need some agenda or some list of every single place that we used to go to all the time.
Yeah,
and all this crap.
it was overwhelming,
Like,
feeling
you're gonna
like you're
see it.
missing out on stuff, but everything that we did was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like you were saying, we were only there 5-6 months, and you would think, well, by that time you would kind of see everything. We didn't. By the end of it, we were trying to fit in everything at the end, and we still didn't make it to all the Boston stuff. But you know, it's one of those things too. When you live in Dallas, you don't see half the. You know, I'm sure half the people that live there don't do all the stuff. But
Well, we'll have to keep an eye out for an Htwow field trip.
I would love that. Man, I can't wait to get back to Boston. It was so good. We need to do Htwow Boston, New Orleans, New York. Right?
Yeah.
New York, of course, nothing will get on tape. Did you
But
hear-
we have a studio. We could go to Nolan's place to record the pod.
We could easily do it. All right, who's next?
It's you and it's Love and Rockets. Well, I really want to know where you went with this.
Well, first of all, do you like your lemon ginger on ice?
Yeah, it's. I think I was mentioning earlier. I like cider on ice, but I don't like beer on ice. But
Sure.
the Radler isn't really a beer, so I feel like I'm not breaking any of my personal core values by having this on ice.
And it's summer. Come
It
on.
is summer, even though it's raining outside today. It is summer.
It's
and
summer.
it's freaking delicious.
Man, we're going to do some bucket fishing later. We're going to make our own beer.
Oh yeah, we need to talk about that before you play your tune. You have a homebrew kit, and we're gonna make an Htwow beer for our own consumption. But who knows? We may start a brewing empire. You never know.
And we're going to save a few. If it turns... Okay, I'll take that back. If it turns out good, we're going to save a few.
And we'll autograph them
We'll autograph
and auction them off to the highest bidder.
And we'll make a label. And we'll auction them off. It'll be some charity thing for like the oceans, right?
Right.
Or something.
For the baby seals.
Yeah, it'll be for the baby seals. That'll be what it's for. Just because you said that. If it's any good. And if this one's not any good, the next batch, if that one's any good, then we'll save those.
We'll just keep going until it's any good.
But it should be good. The last couple I made were pretty good.
Yeah, but I wasn't a part of the last couple that you made.
Yeah, and we're going to be tanked.
Yeah, I have, like I said, the Red Sox lost when I was there. My girlfriend nearly died of pneumonia on the trip. So I have a way of sabotaging things.
Well, already my hydrometer flask is broken.
I know. That's somehow my fault.
It's totally your fault, but we're going to use the tube it came in. We're going to be fine. Was that technical, what I just said?
The tube it came in?
No,
Your hydrometer?
My hydrometer to measure the ABV.
Yeah.
It's all going to make sense.
Yeah.
We'll take some
You're so
pictures
smart.
along the way while we're spilling everything and ruining the kitchen. It's going to be awesome.
All right. So what album did you pick for Love and Rockets, first of all?
The main one, the Express. Here, I'll show you right now. This is the one, right?
Yeah.
That's the one everybody knows about and the one everyone loves. Of course, did you ever see Love and Rockets?
I never saw them in the day, but I did see them at Lollapalooza in Chicago, like the reunited.
Cool. They're one of those bands. For some reason, Bauhaus and anything else, anyone that was ever in Bauhaus ever did. I love it.
Yeah, so their first record was Seventh Dream of Teenage Heaven. Mm-hmm. That was 85. Express came out in 86. Earth, Sun, Moon, which is my personal favorite, came out in 87. And then the self-titled one was So Alive. That was their album that really blew up and kind of made them known by the general public. That was 89.
But you have to admit, All in My Mind was the start.
Yes.
That's not what I'm playing. But.
Express is a close second to Earth, Sun, Moon for me. But for some reason, I guess that Earth, Sun, Moon was the first Love and Rockets record that I really got into.
Uh-huh.
And just I love Mirror People and Everybody Wants to Go to Heaven.
Yeah, and remember,
it's such a great record.
And remember how strange they are. During this whole time, they had the Bubble Men. Do you remember that? Where they dressed up in the bubble suits?
I think I've seen some videos.
They had that whole different band, and every now and then when they would do interviews for Love and Rockets, they would just be the Bubble Men. Do you remember that?
No.
And they wouldn't talk. They would just stand there. It's awesome. It's so good. But I think the Bubble Men even had their own records, but I'm not sure about that. But yeah, they had bits. Much like Ghost, they didn't take themselves as far as goth people. That's what I love also about goths. Even the Damned and people like that, they don't take themselves too seriously.
Yeah, just like Ghost. Like the
That's what I just said.
Oh, sorry.
Jesus. It's like I'm not even here.
Start the pod over. Okay, play some Love and Rockets. Play.
I'm gonna
play.
play some Love and Rockets. I want your feedback on if this one ever came across Davey radar. It's a Love and Rockets jam. I won't say the name of it. I'm sorry about how long it is. It goes just like this.
This is an announcement for the transcendental run. The train now standing leaves for higher planes. Due to a derailment, there will be no other train. So why not hop on this one? Hear the porter's that refrain. Each carriage is connected, as is every single train. The rails will form a track, which is a link within a chain. The chain's connected to another chain now. You will need no ticket if you wish to ride on this train. All aboard the Express Kundalini. All aboard the Express Kundalini. All aboard the Express Kundalini. The song is in your heart. Your heart is in the song. The song is of the earth. The song is of the You are disintegrating into everything around, reintegrating
What do you think of that?
That's great. The Kundalini Express, right?
Yeah.
And it just, when you don't listen to a band for a while, it's been a while since I've listened to Love and Rockets, you just forget how great they are and how underrated they are.
They're so good. And he's such a good singer. And David J's a good singer. I know, you know how they split it.
Right.
And I love how
the left-right thing.
And they really panned it hard, like left-right. If you listen to it in headphones, it's awesome how they're like, all right, this singer's doing this. Now the next one's doing this part. And then it's awesome. But I love Daniel Ash's simple guitar. Like, he's not shredding it. He's just kind of doing lines and making it cool. I love that band. They're great. But that's my end of the Bauhaus. Like you were saying, we could have done some Dolly's Car.
Right.
We obviously could have done plenty of Peter Murphy, but that's too on the nose. Who was in Dolly's Car? Well, I want to say someone from Japan was in that.
Mick Karn.
Yeah, the bass player. Yeah. So was David J not in?
No, yeah. Mick Karn is even crazier than David J.
He's the craziest. So should my next thing be Japan?
Sure.
I've been putting it off because it's too difficult.
It's challenging.
It's challenging.
It's difficult to narrow down, but it's also challenging to the listener as well.
Well, there's also two different versions of Japan.
Right.
There's the
you could do early,
and then there's the new romantics.
There's glam, there's new romantic, and then there's David Sylvan solo. There's Dolly's Car. So people can look forward to that next month, huh?
Yeah, I might
July
cut this
episode.
out so it's a surprise, but
okay,
maybe I won't.
Maybe you won't.
We teased this one last time.
Yeah.
Did we?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't remember stuff. My short-term memory is gone.
So you're done with all of your songs.
You're done with all of your songs.
We're done with the Bauhaus theme.
Yeah.
How do you think that went?
I think it started off a little rocky because even though today was a very relaxing day for us,
it really was.
I got here super early and we did some World Cup action.
We watched Spain play
Iran, and we saw Iran nearly rescue a draw.
There was nearly an upset there.
Yeah. So even though it was a very relaxing, non-stressful lead up to the pod, I think I was a little tense at the beginning, but now that I'm good and wasted.
And you've had your heavy drinks, and now you're having your Radlers.
Yeah, now I'm having my refreshing Radlers. I think that we finished strong. I think
we did finish strong, and
I think this was a at least average to maybe slightly above average episode.
Yeah, and now you're about to get your brew on.
Yeah, we're about to brew some beer.
Oh man,
what a great day!
What a great day! We're
World Cup, podcasting, and then brewing beer.
And then brewing beer like we know what we're doing. What a great day! And it's raining outside.
We are Renaissance men.
It's 82 degrees in College Station in the middle of June.
Perfect.
Great.
I hope that all of you out there listening, I know that no telling when you're listening to this and what the conditions outside will be, what your life will bring you in this particular day that you're enjoying this podcast. But I hope that you are having as great a day as Toby and I have had today. And part of that was bringing you this podcast. We appreciate your listenership. Truly.
We do. Should we finish it up with the amazing ending?
Yeah, if you have not listened to Peter Murphy's Cut You Up in a while, just listen to him go for it. Thank you for tuning in to June 2018 Htwow. Again, we love you so much for making it all the way to the end. You're a real trooper. Please tell a friend about this podcast. And please tune in next month. We love you. You know what? I'm going to bookmark this, and I'm going to come back to it next month. That's the
Hashtag
dream.
Bookmark.